Damn. Salud.
Salud, cabrón. Hey, wait.
Let's go, Cesar.
Let's go, pinche Omar.
100.
100.
Ahora sí estamos al 100,
Ahora
güey.
sí. Siempre hemos andado, pero ahora más.
Ahora sí andamos. Ya llegamos al 100, folks.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Golsided, folks. Episode 100. Holy shit. They thought we wouldn't do it.
For real.
They
I
told
didn't even
us.
think I was going to do it.
The
but
doubters.
we kept going, man.
Despite all odds. Who doubted us? I don't know. Everyone's been very supportive. But the doubters, man. No, super happy, pumped, excited that we hit 100 episodes. Never my wildest dreams.
Yeah, same, dude. It's been a crazy ride. 100 hours into this, just talking. A little bit
Just
more,
talking,
obviously, because we had a couple longer episodes. But man, it's been cool.
Just hanging out, vibing, loving
Man.
footy, and the content makes itself, right? We
Yeah.
get the games, we get all the news, we get everything, amazing people to interview. We'll hear about that in a second, right? So it's been awesome. I mean, we've been working our asses off with the social media game and everything, but in all honesty, it's been super fun, man. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? How's your experience been?
I think at the end of the day, like, we started this because we just loved talking about footy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my favorite part of just coming in here, setting everything up, and just sitting down and saying, yo, you saw what happened over the weekend? Like, that shit was funny, or that shit was cool, or, just talking about something we're passionate about.
True.
And just that element makes all the work and the behind the scenes, the behind the cameras, like, worth it. Because sometimes it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours in there.
It is a lot of work. It's a couple hours almost every day, posting stuff, grinding, getting TikToks out, all interacting with people on the Discord, right? The
Yeah.
Discord that's popping now. We got to be on there in case fools try to jump on and send sketchy Discord links in there. But no, yeah, it's been a whole bunch for me. I love the community that we built, man.
Yeah.
It's been wild. The connections that we've been able to make, that we're going to make. Right now, we have plans to move a little bit, move around, go to games, talk to people from different areas. Right. So I think it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
In honesty. And if you guys are following us, and we just did our giveaway for hitting 1,000 followers, and then we hit 100 episodes right off the bat too. And we're already at like almost 1,150 followers, right? So like it's pumping now. So I can see the opportunities coming. We're trying to line them up. So we hope that you guys love what we have to come from here. What do we got coming, Cesar?
Merch, our website.
The website, away games. We want to travel to one game somewhere, right? Maybe start local because funds are a little low, but like a Portland, LAFC,
yeah.
Not to Carson. No.
We're good off of that.
San Diego next year.
Dude, Ochoa is going to be there supposedly.
Yeah. And as our connections grow, as our community grows, as our overall reach, right? Hopefully we can go out to more of those. I don't know, maybe invite us MLS to some stuff. I don't know. But
if you guys want to invite us to stadium, we're out.
No, yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And we'll be hitting people up whatever area we go to, right? So yeah, super grateful for these opportunities that we have. We got the scarf going, like we mentioned in the merch. Hopefully we get you guys a whole shop up pretty soon. But yeah, so much more to come. And I think one of the biggest things that we have immediately coming, which is what this episode is a guest, right? I think one of the biggest things holding me back from getting guests on here is making sure we have the right platform. We have a good structure to it, that we can really provide good content for you folks, a comfortable environment for the people coming, and make it fun, different from other things, not just so cut and dry. But I think we're getting to that point, and that's why we have our first guest today, Jose from Golz TV. You guys have probably seen him on Twitter. If you guys haven't heard of Golz TV already, check it out. We'll be hearing a lot about what he does with Golz, who he is as a person in the footy community. a great person. So I'm super excited to have him. But it's just a little piece of what we have to come now after 100.
We hope to have other guests on and just kind of vibe and connect and make good content for you guys and also for the guests that are coming in. At the end of the day, like, we appreciate all the support you guys have given us, and the energy to have made it to 100 episodes. All comes from you guys, from enjoying the content, being in the community, in the Discord, and we've been loving it so far.
Here's to better things, to a lot more things to come after 100, and we hope that you guys enjoy our content. As you guys know, we are huge on community, right? So anything that you guys can think of that you guys would like to see here on here, we love the feedback. Let us know so that we can build it better for you guys. And yeah, we're just gonna keep chugging along, a chingarle, ¿no? Puro pinche golsided, como
Pinche
decimos.
goal-sided.
Huevo. Salud to that, Cesar.
Salud.
And we hope you guys enjoyed this interview. What's
Omar,
up, mi
Cesar,
Jose? How are you?
I'm good, boys. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. The recording, we're already hot. Yeah, so let's get right to it, man. Before we bring you into the convo, maybe I could do a little bit of an intro, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Just a little snippet. A passionate soccer aficionado on a mission to make soccer cool in North America. He has some wild takes. He's a great speaker, but he's an even better person. Welcome to Golsided, Jose, our first ever guest.
Let's go.
Venga, cabrones. Vamos, vamos,
Vamos. Man, what a fire intro, man. Seriously, I'm humbled by it. Thank you so much, Omar. Omar Cesar, seriously, this is a hell of a show you guys have built. I'm honored to be the guest of honor for the 100th episode. It's a huge achievement, man. There's an interesting stat out there. I don't know if you guys know, like the top 1% of like podcasts out there. The one thing they all have in common is they got past like episode 20 or 25. So you guys breaking 100 and getting triple digits, man, it's a massive achievement. So again, congrats.
Appreciate it, man. This fool stays with the fun facts. Last time he was hitting us with them too. I was like, damn, this fool knows.
If you got any more, bro, keep them coming.
Yeah, anything to validate what we're doing. No, but appreciate you, man. And I've already told you this, but the best voice in the game right here, hands down. The best voice in the game right here.
I like that title. I like that title.
Bienvenido. Thank you so much for joining us. A bit of an agenda. We're gonna bring you on the platform, allow you to talk a little bit about who you are, what Golz is. We talked a little bit about that before. We'll pivot a little bit into the meat and potatoes, which will be bringing some hot takes to you, bringing some controversial topics to you, and seeing what you think about them. And then we'll bring it on home with our usual, where we just talk about what games we want to watch. Sounds good?
Let's go. I'm good. I'm in.
Cool, man.
Let's do it.
I do want to open it with something that you did to us. So I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine. I believe your first question to us was, who are you today? Is that correct?
It is. It's a great question, man. And you know what's crazy about that question? I've asked it, I don't know how many times. I've never been asked myself. So this is a first for me.
Vámonos.
Vamos. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy to answer, man. Who I am today. I mean, that intro that you gave me was very spot on. And that's probably how I would describe myself to an extent. I think you gave me a lot of premium gas there. I think with who I am today, man. Well, I'm first and foremost, right? I'm a husband. I'm a father. My little one Enzo turns 11 months old tomorrow. So he's right around the corner from being one. Time flies, man. I still remember just holding that kid up. Couldn't even believe I was a dad in the hospital, and now we're here, man. He's crawling and moving. But outside of those two things, man, which those are obviously my two biggest priorities in life. I'm a massive football fan. Grew up in this game. To today, I'm a businessman. I'm a builder, a hustler. I massively passionate about people, and that's something that I think is important to me, very important to me. I like seeing people win. That's a huge thing for me. So you guys make it to 100 episodes, man. Sincerely, I was humbled when you asked me to be a part of it, and I think honored as well. I think it's something that like I said, not a lot of shows get to this point. So seeing you guys get to 200 is going to be a massive milestone. Can't wait for that one. But yeah, man, I think in all honesty, I'm just I'm just a guy trying to build something for football fans that I hope they appreciate. But ultimately, even if they don't, I know I will, because I'm solving a problem for myself. So, you know, I want to see this game grow. I'm a massive fan of it. I hope, you know, sports fans on this side of the world can come to appreciate this game one day the way that I do.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Just a quick question. 11 months. So
Yep.
it was your kid named after the golazo that Enzo scored on Mexico, or what's going on?
No. No, believe it or not, man. I think the name originally was supposed to be Lorenzo. I think that's kind of what we were leaning towards. And we decided
like
that.
Lorenzo. That's cool.
Yeah. We you know, that's, bro, trust. We had so many names that we ran through. So many times I got vetoed and kind of, you know, shot down. But you know, we thought Lorenzo, but it's just, for whatever reason, it still sounded like it was too long. You know, my wife and I could kind of want something a little bit shorter. And so we just thought, I mean, Enzo, like, why not just Enzo? And she liked it. You know, it was probably one of the first ones she didn't turn down. So, you know,
yes, I got one.
Yeah, I got one, man. I got one. But yeah, man. I mean, the kid is he's already kind of moving with the ball. Believe it or not, 11 months old. Like, we pick him up
Project
and he starts
Enzo.
kind of Project Enzo, man. We'll see. He's kids everywhere right now. He's moving, army crawling everywhere. Pretty soon he'll be walking. So I'll get a whole lot busier when that happens. Got to baby proof the house and whatnot. But everybody asks me, like, is he going to be Project Mbappe with Enzo? And I don't think so, but who knows, right? If he starts showing, like, that he really loves the game as much as I did when I was, you know, a kid, who knows, man? We'll see. But yeah, man, that kid, it keeps me young. He keeps me young.
I love that.
There we go.
That's awesome. And I was just watching a trending like TikTok of kids, and I think Japan, what they were doing is instead of giving them like random stuff to kind of kick around in the house, they would give them a little soccer ball to just have it stuck to their foot. So they're just walking and they're just kicking the little soccer ball, kicking a little soccer ball. So by the time that I think they're starting to get the first group of kids to 5, 6, 7 years old, and they're freaking monsters with the ball at their feet. Right?
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy that you mentioned Japan, because I actually, when he was still little, like first couple months, I was reading this book by someone who lived in Japan for, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's Football Starts at Home. And it's just this, I can't remember what his name is, Tom Bayer. Anyway, he spent years in Japan building soccer schools, you know, football schools for kids to learn. And he has, like, a firm belief that, like, you shouldn't even introduce, like, the formal game to them until they're, like, older. Like you said, all you really need is a ball for them to fall in love with, like you know, a blanket or a toy or whatever it is that they take with them everywhere, right? Like, that they really love. So that's kind of what I'm going to start doing. I think I'm going to buy, you know, a few size ones, put them in every room, mess with them myself, you know, and hopefully, you know, he starts seeing what his dad does, and maybe he just wants to copy it.
Let's go. Come on.
Let's go.
What his dad
man.
does, because you told us you played at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ball like that anymore, but I mean, like, I think back in the day, I was always a defender too, so I would say ball is used very, very loosely there. But yeah, man, I still got, you know, a little bit left in the tank. And yeah, I still just now with the ball that I have even here in my house, I mess with it, you know, pass it off the walls, off the couch, you know, kind of juckle it a little bit every now and then. I just want him to be amazed. I want him to feel like you could do whatever you want with this thing. There's no boundaries. And not even worry about the goal, not even worry about having him watch the game or anything. Like, I watch it and he sees me watch it, but, you know, we'll see if he gets into it at that level. But as long as he loves it like a favorite toy, that would be really cool for me.
Killer, man. All right, well, let's bounce off of what you said, this amazing thing that you're building, right? We appreciate it here. We're on the platform, and we are on everything that we post anywhere. We post it on there because we know that this thing is moving, and we know that this is the center of footy content, right? So give us a bit of a snippet on what Golz TV is.
Yeah, man. For those who aren't in the know, and first off, I mean, Golsided was I would say one of the first, right? Like, you guys kind of showed faith in this project, you know, before it really became what it is today, while it was still ugly, right? In my opinion, it was still kind of ugly. But now I think, you know, we're kind of moving the direction that we want to go. But the best way I could describe it, man, it's a platform for nothing but footy content, because this game is so global, because it touches so many people, and more importantly, there's so many ways to consume it, right? You could be into football from any given league across the world, here in the States or North America, Liga MX, Canada, the Premier League in Canada, you name it, right? But even outside of that, you might have come into this game through gaming, through EA, FC or FIFA, or through Football Manager, or you might have been a trading cards guy, a collectibles guy. Like there's just so many different ways to consume the game that I feel like fans on this side of the world still haven't really discovered. There's still, a ton of opportunity for them to discover it. And I think what this platform could be long term is just a way for diehards to continue to deepen their fandom, right? Discover their next favorite creator, their next favorite podcast, their next favorite, content in general. But even for new fans, those mainstream sports fans who were texting me during the 2022 World Cup final telling me this is the best, event they'd ever seen. Why didn't I tell them about football or soccer or anything? And like, brother, I've been preaching this for I don't know how long, but but even for them, right? Even a place to learn about the game, right? To whether you want to go into coaching one day, or you just want to understand how the game works, or want to understand what makes a league like Major League Soccer or Liga MX or any one of these North American leagues different from what they're watching overseas, because those are some of the biggest leagues in the world, right? There's a million different ways to look at it, but I want this place to be just a place to deepen your fandom, your experience. And one day, I think if we do it right, if we really do this thing right, we're not just content. We're hopefully taking people from an online experience, where they've started watching content and they're following their favorite creators and they're tuning in weekly or daily or whatever, and translating that to an offline experience. For me, that's what I consider success. When I can get them to go to a game, and maybe meet some of the people they've been chatting with online. For me, and I think you guys probably do the same thing. I think for me, it's like I knew about football, right? I watched it with my dad forever growing up, but it wasn't until I went to a game live that it was like, this is for me. This is it.
Yeah,
like I'm locked in. There's nothing like this. And that's what I think our platform can achieve long term. The more content that we add, the more features that we add, the more valuable we make this for footy fans. So yeah, man, we got a long way to go, but I'm in this for the long haul.
Yeah, long way to go, but making the moves. You guys have the amazing partnership with USL, right? Right now, all their content is on your guys' page, which is amazing. I think that's a huge step. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we just announced, another partnership last week, actually, really, really recently. Indy 11, having the USL Championship on the platform was huge for me, like a dream come true, in all honesty. But then to see, an individual club say, hey, you know what, I think this is really cool. And Indy 11, a fantastic club. I don't think a lot of clubs out there, are seeing content yet as a valuable storytelling piece. So that, because some of these players and clubs aren't quite as visible, right, as MLS clubs or any other clubs out there. So, they understand, Indy 11 understands that content is a way to unlock the next generation of fans, bring them to the club, have them understand what the stories of these players are. And they're doing really cool things, man. Really cool things. I was very impressed when I met with their VP of marketing. So we talked a long time. I kind of gave them the vision for what I want this to be, and I'm really grateful that they bought into it. And so it was months in the works. It wasn't quick. It wasn't overnight. We took a long time with this, but the announcement went out last week and it was very well received. So I'm excited. I'm hoping this is just tip of the iceberg. Hopefully we can do some really cool things for fans in 2024 and beyond.
Oh, yeah, man.
And we're fans of lower division footy. Let's go. NISA.
Let's go.
Right here. Maryland Bobcats. Our local El Farolito.
El Farolito, for real.
El Farolito. Yesterday they beat Central Valley Fuego here, and putting us on the map over here in SF, that we got footy in SF. People forget.
And when you mention content and telling these clubs the stories, like El Farolito, they've had a lot of history. They've won the U.S. Open Cup before, and currently they have a lot of players, ex-professional players who played Libertadores, who've played for Colombia. And it's crazy that if maybe in the future they can have this type of content and like let it be known, this is the stories of our players. and now we're making a deep run in the doing cup sets or whatever. Would be really awesome to see.
That's crazy, bro. I didn't realize they had that many like ex pros or anything. I honestly like hearing about Farolito this season. It sounds like another run is forming, right? Now that they're 3 rounds in. I mean, it's gonna be crazy to see how far they go this season. But it's the beauty of that tournament, man. Cup football is everything.
Yeah.
And I think when you start to see some teams like this, you do want to have the content that can make their stories relatable to you.
Yep. You heard their story, right? The taqueria thing, right? Yeah,
crazy.
It's right down the street from my place.
No
they
shit,
own
really?
Yeah, in SF, it's right in the Mission, right? The Latino Central in SF. They own a taqueria right in the heart of the Mission, and then they own the sports bar right next door.
Wow.
So I already know that show's probably popping yesterday. But next round they might get either Oakland Roots or they might get Monterey Bay. So I was already saying I'm gonna be out there, and I'm not gonna support anybody but my Farolito, baby. Let's go with the burrito in hand,
bro.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, bro. That's a crazy story. I'm telling you, man. The deeper they go, that's when you want to be able to kind of learn a little bit more about what makes this team great, these players great. Even just like you said, right? You explained to me how close you guys are to where they're set up and based. I mean, those are stories that need to be told, and I'm hoping that one day Golz TV can tell them.
Hell yeah, man. Get some live content there, taqueria. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, man. Let's shift you over to a little bit more on the personal side. We want to hear ¿Quién es Jose? Right? We want to know what's going on. Who's the man behind the curtains per se. So we're gonna go a little bit quick fire. We're gonna ask you a couple questions. Maybe they're footy related, maybe they're not footy related. But just to get a gist of who you are, man.
And quick, Jose, okay?
Let's get it.
Quick. All right, yeah. Less than 10 seconds or what? Like, what's the timer on this?
No. You could take your time, but like, don't be trying to get cute with it. Just give us what you got. All right.
I got you. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
First one. What's your go-to sandwich order?
Ooh,
it says a lot about a person.
Bro, low key, my go-to sandwich is I got two. I got a carne asada torta, and then if on days that I'm feeling really weird, I got a spicy tuna sandwich on wheat. So good, bro.
Oof.
So good.
A little risky with the tuna if you got.
It is a little risky. That's why I say it really depends on where you get it. But like from my spots, yeah, bro, 100%.
But it does hit. It do be hitting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Bro,
I ask everybody this.
Go-to karaoke song. I haven't done karaoke since like college, bro. 10 years. Oh, you know what, man? I could probably sing. It's an 80s song. I could probably sing a couple different ones. I could probably do Summer of '69, very Top Gun-esque. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Who's that? Bryan Adams? Yeah. I gotta be pretty drunk for that one too. Outside of that, though, bro, it's tough. I mean, maybe throwing some AC/DC in there too. I'm trying to think of which song specifically.
Damn,
bro, even
my guy.
Yeah, bro, even like Journey, Believe It. I am when it comes to like, dude, I call them shower songs, right? You know, things that in the morning just kind of get me in the right mood, and I start singing along. I don't know what it is, bro. I love 80s music. I really flock to it. I don't know. I feel like an old soul to an extent, but it's just easy to vibe and sing along to. I don't know what it is, because even before, you know, me being, you know, what, I'm 33 now. I mean, even before I had my child or anything recently, it just speaks to me. Like, I don't know what it is. And I never listened to it as a kid. Nada. It was just, I don't know. Now I'm jamming.
I love it. Hell no Peso Pluma. Get that shit out of here.
Give
me AC.
There's a couple Peso Pluma songs, maybe, but like even then, yeah, not too many, bro. Not too many.
Beautiful.
All right, next one. Let's do drink of choice.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a good one. A shot at Cazadores and like a local beer. The combination is very key. I call it a deer and a beer. It's, you know, shot at Cazadores kind of gets me in the mood. Yeah, and then a local beer, right? When I was living in Washington, all the gas station, I call them gas station beers, right? The Bud Lights, the Budweisers, the Millers, all those never really appealed to me. But there was a light beer that they had out there that was pretty good called just Rainier because of Mount Rainier. I used to get those two all the time.
Beautiful. I love that. And you can never go wrong with any beer in the PNW. Honestly, it's brewery central. Let's get a little bit more footy related. Adidas or Nike?
Bro, you got to give me like kits or cleats. Like
Overall, some people just be like, I'm decked top to bottom Nike, right? But you tell me, cleats Adidas, jersey Nike.
Yeah,
what do you got?
I think kit Adidas. I think Nike has just botched kits over the last like half decade plus. They've gotten so lazy with it. There used to be once upon a time though, like the early 2000s when Nike kits were fire. You know what I mean? They were the 2002
the
World Cup
T90s.
kits. Oh man, the T90s were absolutely fire. I love those. But now I think it's got to be Adidas. I think cleats, man. I've always been a Nike guy. Like whether they're the Tiempos, the Vapors, like you name it. Like Nike cleats to me were everything growing up. They still kind of are.
Damn, this fool wore Vapors. This fool's fast.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm not tall, so like I gotta have something in my back pocket.
No, bro. When I used to go to the stores with my dad, he'd be like, "Do you want those over there?" I'm like, "No. I can't. I'm not fast enough for those, my guy. I gotta go for the touch, the heavy ass leather ones over here. The touch."
Hell yeah. No, I used to love Vapors, bro.
Yeah. Win a World Cup as a squad player or win 3 Champions League, but as the main player, the main star player.
Ooh, that's a great question. That's so difficult, bro. That's so difficult. When you say squad player, what are we talking? We talking like on the bench or like all the time, like you never start?
So you're like one of those players who's in the starting 11, but like play for
like an Asensio back in the day, maybe. Yeah, right. Like nobody.
Como Molina with Argentina, right?
Yeah, your names are in the rafters, but like ain't nobody chanting your name, my guy.
Honestly, bro, it's the biggest trophy you could win. If I could be Molina, right? Like that's kind of how I thought about it too. Like I was like, man, some of these guys, bro, they don't show out even for their club teams. They're not like big stars, but out here winning World Cups, I'll take that all day. It's the biggest trophy you could win. I honestly could die after winning a World Cup trophy. My life would be complete.
Beautiful. Damn, we love that answer, man. I've seen a couple takes of players saying that they're like, oh, Champions League is our big thing, right? And I'm like, okay, just tell me that your national team just doesn't make it far. That's it. just tell me.
Yeah, I mean, bro, again, I'm both U.S. and Mexico, and it's like it doesn't really matter, like in my lifetime, neither's really been close to kind of getting there, at least at the senior level, and it doesn't really matter. It's just the one thing that I drop everything for. You know what I mean? Like I tune in, I'm locked into every game. Doesn't matter what time it's at. I can only imagine how locked in I would be as a player. Like just to hold the trophy one time, bro, I might cry. I don't know. It's something that would make my life complete.
Hell yeah. That's a footy player's dream right there.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Biggest trophy you could win.
Chilena or volley? What's better? This is a Discord exclusive. This is a Discord exclusive question because it's people be dying in the Discord from this right here.
I mean, there's a lot of glory with Chilenas, right? Like, I mean, you hit it perfectly. Your legacy is like kind of cemented, bro. There are people who have made entire careers off of one play like that, or at least have the legend around them from one play like that. But man, just to be good consistently on a volley, and not just like the one-off Chilena, right? I mean, if that's what we're talking about, Chilena's more impressive. But me personally, I would like to just be consistently good at volleys, bro. For me, I would like to just be able to hit them. It doesn't matter if the ball's hit to my hip, to my shin, to my shoulder. I'm going for Chilena anyway. But yeah, I think Chilena's like a cool one-time thing. I'm sure Alejandro Garnacho somewhere is just like has that, that damn bicycle, put somewhere on his wall in a picture frame.
That's exactly the example we had.
Yeah, I still think being consistently good, like at just someone who could crank a volley from any distance, bro, I would take that. I would take that so often.
Nice.
See, I'd never heard this approach, just being consistent on a volley. People are always like, oh, volleys are better just because look how beautiful they look. But like you providing an actual answer of saying why, it's like you got to be consistent, man. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm still
But
on the
imagine,
Chilenas
imagine you
though.
could though, right? Imagine you could
Yeah.
like just consistently, like every time someone hits like a weird ball to you, and you could just still hit it with really good form, and it still looks pretty good going in. It's not Chilena, right? But it's
Yeah.
not too far from it. I kind of feel like I'd take that one.
True. Yeah, I think that the Chileans just so like it just makes you so awestruck, right? You're just like, what the like that just doesn't happen. And also, I don't have the confidence that I could even hit one. So that's
No.
what maybe makes you feel that way. Um,
But then you
you
hear about
got him?
stories like Nani like dislocating their shoulders at training and stuff like that. I'm like, nah. Like part of me is just like
Don't
I'm
even
not
try
even
it.
down sometimes to try it.
Yeah. Okay, I got your next one. Most underrated footy coach of all time.
This is a good
Somebody who's not
question.
loved, but was like, yo, man was game changer.
Ooh, the most underrated footy coach of all time. Damn, bro, there's so many for a number of reasons, right? Everybody has their
Or
own
who
reasons for
or who's not who's someone that's not as popular that you really appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate his football. I appreciate his longevity. I appreciate what he's done for his club. That I don't even like this club. So I think this is like a really interesting answer for anybody who's thinking about this question. I'm a Barcelona fan. I don't despise Atletico Madrid, but I don't really like them. I don't like their fan base. I'm not really, you won't catch me even hate watching their games. I just don't really like what they, who they are. But to ignore what Cholo Simeone has done with Atletico Madrid, making them relevant in ways that I remember the years prior to him coming in, and outside of a few one-off players, bro, Forlan, Torres, Agüero, like I didn't really fear Atletico. Like it never really was a thing. And he made this side formidable in a way that this is now a big game. This is now one that I'm circling on the calendar. He's been there longer than any manager. He has impressed his style on them in a way that they have a very distinct brand of football. I will respect Simeone. I don't really like him. Don't really care for his style of football personally, but game recognized game. Like I will always, tip my hat to those who are just finding a way of putting their stamp and their identity on something very special. So I think he's underrated also. I think no one ever puts his despite what he's accomplished, no one will ever put his name in the hat for like a best manager type of award. So I think, Cholo deserves flowers to an extent, and he's got this aura around him. You know what I mean? Like he's got this,
Yeah.
this aura. I don't know how else to explain it. He's just got this this way of getting his players for the most part to buy into what he wants them to do, and they almost look exactly the way he used to play as a player. I remember, the days when he was back at Inter and and just he the 98 World Cup incident, right, with Beckham, and that was just the way he was, bro. And his players play the exact same way now. Like the man is consistent through and through. You got to give him that.
Yeah, that's crazy that he made it onto the Beckham documentary, right? For basically triggering David Beckham into getting a red card, which ended up being terrible for the English team, right?
That's crazy. He was that guy. He was always that guy, like as a player. Man, what do they say in the UK? He was cheeky, right? Like just man played. He's a mental monster, and I think that his players to an extent are like that now.
And he had to be Argentino. It had to be for real. It had to.
Yeah, be. that part also kind of roused me up. But I mean, like I said, it's impressive, even though I don't like the man that much.
To help us move into the hot take segment that we'll be doing, I want to piggyback one last question: Ancelotti or Pep? Oof. Who you got?
Man, I'm gonna say Pep, bro. I mean, like it's so hard because I mean you're asking me to like pick between someone who's managed Real Madrid multiple times versus someone who was arguably the in a certain time frame, the most successful coach Barcelona's ever seen, trophy count wise. So like, and he's a culé through and through. So like I'm in, me and my family being all massive Barcelona fans, it's so hard for me not to pick him. But I do respect Ancelotti, obviously, right? The guy's won major trophies every decade for like half a century now. So yeah, bro, I'm gonna take Pep. I think the harder question, I thought you were gonna ask me like Pep versus Fergie, and that would have been like a very difficult, probably somewhat dramatic response. So
I think European trophy wise, I think the buzz question is Ancelotti versus Pep, right? But
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see it going either way. But Sir Alex Ferguson over Pep.
I think Fergie was a better manager. I think
Yeah.
he just knew how to get the most out of his players and probably developed relationships in a way that Pep probably didn't outside of his time at Barcelona. Pep's just a machine, just probably the greatest tactician we probably have ever seen. It doesn't always mean you get trophies. Like there's plenty of times where he's even just outthunk himself, right? Like the 2021 Champions League final, other big games where he's just like messed with the tactics so much that he kind of shot himself in the foot. But I think that's just the small price you pay for genius at times. But he also cycles through players pretty regularly. I think for that reason, like he's so obsessed with the game that I don't think it's as easy for him to build very, very strong, tight knit relationships where you have players calling him a father figure. That's what Fergie did best. So, and of course, a great manager all the way through, but I just think Pep's a better tactician. So, if you put their best teams against each other, that'd be a game, bro. That would be a fantastic game. I really don't know who would win. Pep's gotten the best of Fergie a couple times for sure, but I still think it'd be difficult, man. If Pep coached in Fergie's era, I really don't know who would win.
I think towards the end of Fergie's run, like Pep kind of got him a little bit on the softer side of the United squad. So I think that kind of helped. But yeah, good point about the father figure piece, because I was reading a bit of Pep's biography, and he was they really honed in on it. Like it would sometimes just not turn into a family. It would just do the opposite, and how he had to give Deco and he had to give Ronaldinho the back door out, right? And basically tell them like, yeah, you guys are legends, but I don't need you. And he was it was alluding to like how he, at the end of the day, it's business, and I need the best players, just because of this obsession that he has to be the best. And you're not the best. Maybe you were, and goodbye, and that's it.
Yeah, and as a fan, like I'm okay with that, but I think as a player, I wouldn't be. You know, I played for a coach similarly in college who operated the same way. Man, he was one of the winningest coaches in all of NCAA Division II soccer, and fantastic reputation. But like, bro, I mean, cycles through players pretty regularly. You know, even sometimes in the same season. Didn't have a great relationship with his family, even because he prioritized winning so much. So it's just like, you know, like it's just one of those things where like he kind of was like, you know, if you need a friend, I'm not the guy. We got assistant coaches for that. You know, do what you got to do. He kind of kept himself at a distance intentionally so that he can make the tough decisions when needed. So I get it. I didn't really have a great experience with him. So I understand that from a player's perspective, it's not always going to work out that way. But from a fan's perspective, it's hard not to root for Pep, bro. I mean, the guy in his first 4 years as a manager won just about everything you could possibly win, right? So, and for my club, so I'll take it all day.
And he started his coaching studies in Mexico. What else could you freaking want? God
Hell
damn.
yeah, that's bro. I didn't even know that, to be honest. That's crazy. Where in Mexico?
He started in Puebla, and then while in Puebla, he had an ex-coach of his at Barcelona that was coaching at Dorados de Sinaloa. So he became he was playing with Dorados to kind of closely finish his career while doing his coaching studies, and then they got relegated, and he went back to Europe.
Damn, that's crazy. Bro, even more respect.
Yeah, man. For sure. All right, let's get you right into some hot takes then. The first one is actually a reflection on one of your takes that I've seen on Twitter. And you had a take on Greg Berhalter and the U.S. men's national team. Verbatim, you said he should not be the manager. And I would like to unpack that a little bit.
Let's unpack it, bro. Tim, when I said that, so to fully kind of flush that out, I think he's a decent manager. I think is what I said. He is not the, and I emphasize the manager, because he's not. I don't believe it. I think he kind of knows what he's doing. I think he has a good sense and an idealistic way of how he wants to play. I don't believe he tactically in the trenches understands situationally, you know, when certain situations pop up on the pitch, how he wants his pieces to move on that chessboard. And I think that's where the disconnect between what we see on the pitch and what he's intending to happen really, really takes place. I also think that, and this is not even think, this is fact. To coach the players that we have in this generation of US talent, he's never seen success. He's never seen enough success in his coaching career to have the job that he has. He's just never done it. I mean, when you look at his time with the Crew, look at his time with second division side in Sweden, anybody in between, just never really been a winner as a manager. Yet he lands one of the more, in terms of CONCACAF, right? The biggest job you could probably get outside of those three. So it's just one of those things where it doesn't really make sense from a manager and tactical perspective. But I know for a fact that the U.S. Soccer Federation looks at other things beyond the X's and O's on the pitch. They look at culture fit, the man management of it all, the relationships he has just from being involved with U.S. soccer for so long, and someone who can serve, I guess, as somewhat of a positive role model to the next generation of players who are coming in through the pipeline. So I get all of that. That's great. But I do believe this team deserves more and frankly should demand more from their senior leader. I think that there should be a higher bar. So I will stand by what I said, man. I don't even think it's a hot take, to be honest. I think he's an okay manager. He's an okay manager. I like to see him prove himself somewhere at a club level before he gets a job like this.
Well, he's there and you got to suffer with him. So take it.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
I don't know. There were rumors of a little Nepo baby vibes. I don't know, a little some favoritism in the federation. So that makes it tough as well, right? To get him out.
Does. I mean,
he's out. He's out for
politics.
Investigation, and then they do a whole new hiring process, hire an organization, and they somehow still land on the same guy. It's crazy to me. It's wild.
Yeah,
but
I think the criteria for what they're looking for is just, I don't know. It's almost like what happens on the pitch is not quite as important. That's what it seems like anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with your take there. I think with this generation that the U.S. men's national team have, it's like a golden opportunity for them to really prove themselves and really set a high bar, a high standard to where the next generation have something to look up to. And I think if the U.S. men's national team mess it up, it's going to be really hard for them to bounce back from it.
Yep.
I agree. It's not even just bounce back from it. I think it's it just feels like it's a waste. You know what I mean? It feels like, I think back to I'm also an Arsenal fan from the Premier League, and I can think back to so many different teams that were wasted along the way because of managerial decisions, whether it was lack of movement in the transfer market, not taking advantage of a small collection of talent that's come through our academy, whatever it may be, right? It does. It feels like it was wasted time, wasted resources, and that's the last thing you want to feel, right? I would say the same thing from Mexico's perspective, right? The youth, the golden generation that came through with Vela, Chicharito, and all of these guys who kind of came through at one time.
That 2012 squad as well, the one that won the gold in London, like that was just a completely wasted generation.
Mm-hmm. And it sort of sets the standard for, again, those players behind them in the youth ranks. They're looking at that. And saying, okay, well, that's the bar. As long as I meet that, that's okay. And that's what I'm saying is it's with Berhalter. It's nothing against him personally. It's just, I feel like we already have seen his ceiling, and I don't believe that his ceiling is impressive on any level. And we should honestly have a higher standard for ourselves, as a nation, as a federation. Like, there just needs to be a higher bar that's set.
Yup, y'all need Mourinho. I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's get right into the Discord takes then, Cesar.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the one that I want to call out, username Cesar. I don't know who that is, but I don't know. We'll see what his takes are kind of like. He said the U.S. men's national team will be semifinalists at the Copa America. Jose, hit us with it.
Not if they don't find a way to pull at least a point from Uruguay in the group. I firmly believe that. If they get embarrassed by Uruguay, bro, say goodbye. It's going to be, I'm waiting for the opening knockout round when USA can't find a way to get it done. That game is going to be massive. And that's Uruguay's a top. Where are they in the FIFA rankings? I know rankings aren't everything, but
They're
I'm trying to
definitely in
remember where
top
they are.
15.
Yeah.
But it's more like it's dragging from the past group before. Under Marcelo Bielsa, they're playing lights out, right? They're killing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So and then Bielsa's a whole different beast, right? Like just the way he likes to play football, very high octane, very kind of leave everything on the pitch energy wise, and more importantly, like like his teams in the past, whether it was now with Uruguay or previously with like Leeds United, just efficient. Like they get opportunities, they just don't waste them very often. So US are maybe the opposite of that in times under Berhalter, right? They have been wasteful. They whether it's because of Berhalter and who he wants to play, or it's due to him not getting his tactics right. It's just, and more importantly, his track record doesn't bode well. He hasn't beaten a top 20 country outside of Mexico in his tenure, I believe. I don't think he has. I mean,
Jeez,
someone can
that's a
fact check
crazy
me on that.
fact.
That's crazy. So
they haven't.
Dude.
None of them have been. No.
yeah, that's so. It's just like semifinals at Copa America, bro. I mean, you got to respect those South American nations a little bit more. I think. I think there are some mid countries that would give us trouble.
Argentina, Colombia, and then I'd put the US right there. I think Uruguay and Ecuador are strong.
That's rough. Yeah.
But the US should be able to give them a good fight. They're young, they're maturing players. I think right now they need to give como en México se le dice el salto de calidad para que de veras digamos, all right, for 2026, they're locked in.
Yeah, but Ecuador's building a bit of a golden generation right now, right? They got as many European players as they've ever had right now and in top clubs. Uruguay, I mean, I would never bet against Marcelo Bielsa. Like, it is tough. But then if you put those two teams before the US, then they're even struggling to get into the top 8, right? And then you're just like, okay, damn, it's getting rough.
Yeah, that's a hot take. Like US making it to the semifinals, bro. That's a hot take. I mean, we all saw how they struggled against Jamaica. Well, I against Bielsa's side, that's ready to go. And I think when you were naming them off, Cesar, I do have Uruguay as like that 4th spot. I just don't see how either US or Mexico like get to a point where they're realistically beyond the first even knockout round. Like it's difficult, man. Like Copa America is a different beast. It will be played here on American soil, so maybe there's something there. But right now, with how this team playing again, unless it's Mexico, I don't know if this side can find a way to kind of put it all together on the pitch for 90 minutes.
But the American soil is no home field advantage. There's going to be more Uruguayos at that match than there will be Americans, right?
Yeah.
Americans need to show out, man.
It's going to be crazy.
Is
all
that
right,
one
so
in
hit him
Dallas?
with the next one. I think that one's in Dallas, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's going to be Uruguay's going to have some turnout, 1,000%.
Yeah.
All right, so next one from the Discord, we got Romelu Lukaku saying Mexico will flop at Copa America, not making it out of the group stage.
Lukaku said
Your
that?
thoughts on that?
No. We have a username.
Okay. I was like, was that a quote from Lukaku?
No. Lukaku is not taking time out of his day at Roma to be like, oh, Mexico's not going to do well.
Hey, bro, maybe he had a hot take himself. I don't know. So he said that. So I'm sorry. So I say it again. The Mexico would get to what point?
Will flop at the Copa America, not making it out of the group stage.
Remind me who their group is.
Their group is Jamaica, Ecuador, and Venezuela. Yeah.
That would be a hard flop, boys. That would be a hard flop.
That would be a hard flop.
Like I can see it happening. Don't get me wrong. Nothing against the Lamborghini, but I think it's like Jamaica. You should win. But
Jamaica is going to get some dual nationals, right? They're going to convert some players. They got them.
They are. Yeah.
Right. Ecuador's stacked.
They'll make it difficult. Ecuador is the one that I don't think Mexico takes at all. And then Venezuela, which is like historically not a good team, but they've gotten a little bit better.
They're stronger.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like that's second in the group. That's honestly, it's like a coin toss. I can see them flopping, but they also could just turn it on, or at least find a way to, right? Because they're not the most difficult teams you have to play against in the world, but those are like trap games. Jamaica and Venezuela.
And Venezuela is above Ecuador right now. They're 4th in CONMEBOL qualifiers right now. So
wow.
And the one thing about Mexico is they usually play at a higher standard. against better teams like Ecuador. So if they could get a point out of that match, I'm sure they'll be set up for that second spot at least.
They should, man. They should. I think this is honestly, this is a good test for Mexico. Like, it really is. Like, they just got to find a way to, like, just take it game by game. Don't overlook Venezuela. Don't overlook Jamaica, and be ready to kind of grit your teeth and grind out a game against Ecuador, because they're not just a good team with how they play; they're physical, and we've seen it right
definitely.
a number of tournaments. So. Yeah, man, that it's like, this is a weird group, I think. Like, just off the top of my head and what I know about these teams, this is a really interesting group. So we'll see what happens. Not a terrible take. That could happen, but I could also see, Mexico going through.
Yeah, let's move on to this next one. A little bit more local, domestic, if we're speaking that way. The user Rubber Toe 51 says, Leagues Cup. If we have Leagues Cup in Mexico, the MLS teams will flop.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. I think it's a damn shame MLS teams, with the money that the league has and is enticing, Liga MX teams to come over here and play. I mean, that's cool and all, but, like, how difficult it is for an entire month potentially to, like, go leave your home country, go play somewhere else, and then deal with the travel all across this country. Like, bro, it's difficult. It's super difficult. And we have already seen, right, in CONCACAF Champions Cup, some of these MLS teams get completely smacked around, bro. I mean, I firmly believe that maybe not every team from Leagues Cup on the MLS side of things would completely get rolled, but it would definitely be, by the time you got to the later knockout rounds, it would be the majority Liga MX teams, 100%. Like, I firmly believe that.
Riddle me this. Why are we having a whole tournament Leagues Cup when it's the same damn teams in the final 8 as there are right now in the CONCACAF Champions Cup? Except for Herediano. Yes, Herediano literally is playing on borrowed time. They should have lost against Toluca easily, except Toluca completely bottled it at home, right? But it's the same 8 teams. It's going to be Inter Miami versus Liga MX, right?
Yeah.
Columbus Crew last time made it pretty far, right? And Nashville made it pretty far. Cincy made it pretty far. They just got smacked really early in this tournament, but it's the same damn thing.
Yeah, bro. They want the magic of cup football within their closed system, right? So, why not create something that's closed, that's, that you can build the rules around, that you can choose who you invite, into the tournament in the middle of the damn MLS season, which still doesn't make sense to me. I would have loved to see this tournament played, like, in the off season. This would have been cool in the off season. Give me this when there really isn't football being played, and even if the teams aren't coming to the US, whatever, fine, keep that the same way. But I don't know, man. Like again, people are going to say, "Oh, it's to shut down the US Open Cup," and I don't want to bring up that drama and, like, what that's looked like, but because we all know that that's probably true on some level. But I really think it is money, bro. Like just money, ratings, giving Apple TV as their very key partners more than what they have with just MLS.
I'll raise your to close US Open Cup, and I would say it's to one up Copa Libertadores. This is my conspiracy theory. There was the rumor that MLS and Liga MX were going to rejoin. Liga MX apparently got barred by FIFA or something, right? And then MLS apparently just didn't. I don't know what happened there, but I think this is Liga MX and MLS saying we can make it better, more money, everything. And then you guys will want to bring your best teams that we will invite to come and play over here. And we'll be making the money, because the big money in Libertadores is the sponsorships. It's all the brand deals that they have, right? So I think they're trying to one up Libertadores and make the North and South America big tournament the thing.
Yeah, but it all comes down to money, right? I mean, that's really what it is. It just comes down to creating more opportunities for revenue, more than what they have now. And again, maybe because there's speculation around what viewership numbers and the revenue that's attached to those really kind of looks like, what subscription revenue looks like creating as many ways to keep your key partners happy and everybody's pockets as fat as possible is something that, Don Garber and MLS have, been decent at so far, but I think that they're trying to come up with new ways to do it, every year.
Last one, Cesar, let's get it.
Username ODV7 says the biggest U.S. men team need is a leader goalkeeper. Can't have a dude that started playing as a teen in net.
That's not a
The
bad take.
biggest USMNT need. There's all these questions about the 9. There's these questions about Gio Reyna. If you're not going to pull up, we need a better creator there, right? We need a captain. Pulisic is not the captain, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the goalkeeper.
That's actually not a bad take when you think about it, right? Because since Tim Howard has stepped out of the picture, we really haven't had a massive, like just like game changer at that position, right? I say game changer because I mean that man is. I mean, we all saw the what was it, the 2014 World Cup and how many saves he had against Belgium. I don't know if any keeper moving forward will replicate that, but I don't think they have to, right? Like we just need someone. In all honesty, bro, I would even take a keeper who's just got more personality. You know, nothing against Matty Turner, nothing against Zach Steffen. You know, it's just that these guys they look sometimes, I don't know, maybe scared to make a mistake, scared to be the reason that they lose. And it reflects on how they play. Like, I think this is actually a pretty good take by Omar. I really haven't thought about this a ton, but you know, some of the needs that I feel like that the U.S. men's national team really need positionally, there's actually not a ton. I think the 9 position to me is actually pretty. There's like enough selection, you know, there that you got Balogun, you got Pepe, you got Sargent, you know, you got Haji, right? There's a bunch there that the manager could choose from that are pretty decent. But at keeper, man, I'll be honest, bro, Matty Turner's just not it. Like, he's not it at all. He wasn't even ready for the Premier League. He really wasn't. He wasn't ready to go to England.
Not that
and
guy.
He just doesn't have the fundamentals. You know, there's that story that he hasn't, that he started playing so late in his career. You know, he didn't really play club ball at a young age. Didn't get the fundamentals as a kid. And to me, that's massive. You know, he could have some great natural talent. That's how he progressed so quickly. But if you don't have that solid foundation, right, as a keeper, things that you learn when you're a kid that you really can't relearn as an adult, then I feel like we kind of know what your ceiling is. And there's a reason I think that we're seeing all these mistakes that he's made for Nottingham Forest as the starter. And those were kind of masked in his time at Arsenal. Like, we didn't see it because he was a backup, and because if he was coming into games, they were low stakes games. They were games where he wasn't going to be, you know, have a ton of pressure on him. But as a relegation fighting side in the Premier League, there's probably no greater pressure scenario. Like, you have to be on point. You're going to get a lot of shots on you game in and game out. You can't make stupid mistakes. And I think we're finding out who he is. So yeah, Omar, fantastic take, bro. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, and he had that famous not top 10 ESPN moment.
Jesus,
I don't know if you ever see it. Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
So I also, the other side of the coin, I don't blame him. A community college player, because he started as a teenager, apparently, right? So goes to community college, kills it, goes to a small school and gets picked up in the draft. To go from a couple years from community college to Arsenal is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, at the same time, I would be completely blown away if there was a player that had a lifetime's worth of experience and of just knowing how the world of football works at that point within less than 10 years. Like, and he's kind of getting exposed for it. Under those 3 posts, lights out, will block anything because he has the craziest of reflexes.
He's athletic, right?
Yeah, but like, at the end of the day, that huge mess up with, I think, Mo Salah, right, where he overran the ball. Like, it's just little things that he doesn't measure. It's the football IQ. I think he's just getting kind of exposed for that.
Yeah, and you develop. I'm telling you, like people, you know, it's kind of crazy. There's like this ongoing myth, and I'm finding out about a lot this now as a parent, because I'm reading more and just trying to understand when I can introduce certain things to my son. And like, it's crazy how a lot of parents out there feel like kids can't even start doing things. You know, they can't start using their fine motor skills until they're like 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. I'm like, no, like you're so beyond a very critical time. Like, it's crazy. Kids learn like up to 90%. Their brains absorb up to 90% of what they're going to know in the first 5 years of their life. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, in the first 5 years of their life, that's you're going to absorb so much. The rest of it just comes from experience. You have to go out into the real world, learn things, try things, make mistakes, right? But like the minute they can start walking, you can start introducing them to things. And that's where the foundation really comes from, in my opinion. I don't think you need to do that if your dream isn't to be the starting goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team. But if it is, if that's where you want to be, starting as early as possible is key, man. It's a massive foundation and a huge step in your career that you could be missing out on, and skills that you can be missing out on if you never get that. So, it's not his fault, right? You only know what you know until you get exposed to it. But I think he's finding out that there's just a piece of his game he doesn't have that others do.
Oh yeah, man. I love the takes and hitting us with some more fun facts. All right, folks, games to watch. Let's get it. Give us one, Jose.
Big one this weekend, in my opinion, especially if you're here stateside. El Tráfico coming up on Saturday, bro. LAFC, LA Galaxy. There's already being kits burned in the streets, apparently, according to the timeline, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of wild, but being that big of a hater where you'd go out and buy someone else's kit just to burn it. But with that said, no love lost between these two. You know what's kind of crazy? There's a very interesting stat with this game. Like the last 4 games, 3 of the last 4 games, at least 5 goals have been scored in each of those games. None of them have ended in a draw. So I feel like it's going to be goals everywhere. This LA Galaxy team is finally like clicking in comparison to past seasons. I think it's going to be just a banger out in LA this weekend.
Killer. I thought you were going to say there were at least 5 fights in the stadium. I was like,
oh, more than that. Way more than that. Way more than that. 1000%.
When you said kits, I heard kids. I was like, what?
Yeah.
All right. For me, I got Tigres against Columbus Crew en La Vuelta en el Volcán.
Next week.
I think it's going to be a really good game. It ended up 1-1 in Columbus. Columbus has to show face for MLS as being they won the MLS Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they have to go to El Volcán and show up.
It's a death wish, honestly, going into El Volcán.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah. You guys are going to win, bro. You guys are going to win.
Keeping the same vibe, I got Pachuca versus Tigres in Liga MX over the weekend. Pachuca had lost 3 in a row. They need to get a W. They were right inside of the top 4. Now they're right outside of the top 4. Liga MX got to make that top 4 to be safe from the play-in.
Yeah, let's get it. My second game that I'm tuning into this weekend, Sunday, man. For those Premier League fans out there, I'm wearing a Premier League kit right now. Manchester United, Liverpool. That game's going to be massive. I'm an Arsenal fan myself. We won today against Luton. Omar, I know you're celebrating that one as well. I think this is massive for the title race, like massive. I know Arsenal still has to play Manchester United, but I think at this point, whether you're a City fan, a Liverpool fan, an Arsenal fan, we're all kind of watching these last like 8 or 9 games very closely and just rooting for those other 2 teams to drop one at some point. And this could be it. This could be it if you're an Arsenal fan. So I'll be locked in for that game. I think it's also pretty cool that the Premier League pundits and all those guys are going to be in Nashville for Premier League Fan Fest on Sunday too. So that's going to be a cool one to watch.
Taking to La Liga, but in the Copa del Rey, we got the final, Athletic Bilbao versus Mallorca. Our boy Javier Aguirre is going to give it his go for his first trophy in Spain after a couple of decades out there. And we'll see if he can bring it on home. He did make it to one Copa del Rey final with Osasuna, but they lost it. So he's going to give it his all to get a trophy for the Mexican coaches out there.
This is a big one for both sides, though.
Yeah. I mean, Bilbao has been hustling for the longest of time, right? And this is like a golden generation for them with the limitations they have on the players that they can play, that they can field.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're killing it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't call out your Arsenal. I thought
because they're gonna win. It's easy. It's easy. We won.
Let's go. Let's go.
We got Brighton against Arsenal this weekend. Arsenal has to win to try and keep up with Liverpool and City. So we'll see if they get out there on Saturday.
Get that.
Omar, are you nervous? Are you nervous?
No. Brighton, no. They couldn't. They couldn't versus Brentford today. They got me 6 points in fantasy.
Están salvando todos los goles.
Yeah,
for the weekend.
They're calentando motores. They're like, hey, we'll spoil it on Sunday. But generally, that's what happens, right? What happened with Southampton, right? Remember that?
God, bro.
Yeah.
That one. Don't remind me. I still have nightmares, man. Every now and then, I wake up in a cold sweat.
That was the turning. That was the turning point, man. After that, I was like, Jesus,
it's over.
that shit hurted.
Right when that happened, I was like, even with the comeback and everything, whatever. But it's like this. It's over. It was done. This time, bro, we had to see it all the way through. So I'm excited for the Brighton game.
I did get drunk in Puerto Vallarta and talked to an Arsenal fan, and he asked me if we can realistically win it this season, and I looked him dead in the eye, and I was like, no. So if they win it, I have some explaining to do in Puerto Vallarta next time I go back. But yeah, I'll be happy.
In a good way. In a good way.
I'd be happy to explain that. Yeah. All right, let's bring it on home. We do want to have a little bit of a cool segment, Jose. We want to throw it back to you. We want to give you a minute or two of your time to just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Bring us on home and say whatever you would like to put out into the world.
I appreciate that, man. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, there's not too much. I mean, look, go check out Golsided. In my opinion, on Golz TV, GOLZ.TV. Like you heard Omar and Cesar already say, they're bringing their content to the platform week in and week out. They're one of the earliest adopters of this stuff. That they believed in me and this project before a lot of other people did, before it was cool to do it on the timeline. So I appreciate you guys, man, having me on for your 100th episode. This was, I mean, again, humbled, honored. I'm always down to come back whenever you guys want fun facts, hot takes, anything in between. Seriously, man, this was a lot of fun. Thank you again for inviting me.
Appreciate it. Cesar, want to bring us home?
Yeah, I mean, mainly thank you for tuning in, Jose. Thank you for jumping on and giving us your facts and everything. And yeah, for you guys listening to us, 100 episodes in, thank you guys for so much for the support. And 100 more, let's get it.
Let's get it. We'll keep grinding. Appreciate y'all. Peace.